What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Elevate Your Life. I am your hostess with the mostess. L is in the letter L, and key as in the key to your heart. So, hey everyone, welcome back to Elevate Your Life. If it's your first time here, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. If you are a frequent listener, thank you for coming back. Sorry I missed all of you on Monday. I recorded the podcast multiple times, and well, what can I say? In my studio, there were constant interruptions, disruptions, dog fights, all kinds of stuff that couldn't possibly be edited out and muted out. And the later it got, I thought, I guess it's just not meant to happen tonight. So thank you for your patience and being loyal. Thanks for showing up tonight for Wisdom Wellness Wednesday. So today's Wisdom Wellness Wednesday topic is a big one. And honestly, it's a sensitive one. So the topic is, how do you know if you are with a narcissist? Now, before we dive in, let me just say this. We are not here to diagnose anyone, but we are here to talk about patterns, behaviors, and how those behaviors make you feel. Because your peace matters, your clarity matters, and of course, your voice matters. So I'm sure I just want to start out by saying, what are we really talking about? You may have heard the term narcissistic personality disorder, also known as NPD. It's thrown around a lot lately, especially with social media. And yeah, I just feel like we're hearing it a lot more so than what I'm familiar with back in my teenage days. But here's the truth. Not everyone who hurts you is a narcissist. However, when certain patterns show up consistently, it's worth paying attention, right? So, this episode is about awareness, not labels. I wanted to talk about signs you may be dealing with narcissistic behavior. So, let's get into it. So, number one, you feel like everything revolves around them. Somehow, every conversation circles back to their needs, their feelings, their story. Does any of this sound familiar to you? The reason I wanted to talk about it today is, per the usual, I've been reading a lot about it, researching it, hearing about these people that are in these relationships, seeing it on social media. So I felt it was important to bring awareness to this topic. So again, so that we can protect ourselves, pay attention to patterns, and protect our peace. So number two, you don't feel emotionally safe. When you express hurt, you are dismissed, you're ignored, or told, oh, you're just too sensitive. Is any of this sounding familiar to any of my listeners out there? Moving right along. Number three, you start questioning yourself, also known as gaslighting. You remember something clearly, but they tell you, oh no, it didn't happen that way. Over time, you are conditioned and you begin doubting your own reality. Number four, the relationship feels like a roller coaster. 1 minute, it's love, affection, connection. The next minute, it's distance, criticism, coldness. Sorry, guys. I lost my train of thought. Bear with me. Okay, so we left off at the relationship feels like a roller coaster. 1 minute is love, affection, connection. Next minute, it's distance, criticism, or coldness. Number 5, accountability is missing. Apologies feel rare, or they come with excuses or blame, or but you did this, but you said that. Hmm, interesting. Number 6, control shows up in subtle ways. It might look like concern, but it feels like pressure, guilt, or restriction. I feel like I need to give an example with this one. Hey, honey, you said you were coming home at 10 and it's 10:05 and you're not here yet. What's going on? Is everything okay? It's just you told me this time and I'm wondering why you're not here yet. Sound familiar? So, moving right along, why it's so hard to accept. Here's the part that people don't talk about enough. You don't stay because you're weak. You stay because you've seen the good, because you remember who they were in the beginning, because you believe maybe if I love them better, or communicate better, or try harder, that things will change. But real talk, consistency tells the truth, not potential. Wow, listen to that again. Consistency tells the truth, not potential. So, real talk, sometimes we hold on to the version of someone we fell in love with and we ignore the version of them we're actually living with. And that can create confusion. That creates emotional exhaustion. That creates a cycle that's hard to break. So, what are your wisdom wellness takeaways? If you take anything away from today's episode, let it be this: pay attention to patterns, not promises. Your feelings are valid data, not overreactions. You don't need someone to agree with your boundary for it to be valid. And peace should not feel like a reward that you have to earn. So I want to throw out a little Q&A segment, and so my question to you listeners out there is, how do I know if it's narcissism or just normal relationship conflict? And that is a great question because, as we all know, all relationships have conflict, but healthy conflict includes accountability, mutual effort, repair. So if you are constantly the one that's apologizing, adjusting, questioning yourself, that's not balance. That's a pattern. And your other question, your follow-up question might be, can a narcissist change? And the answer to that question is change is possible for anyone, but here is the key. Change requires self-awareness, accountability, and consistent effort over time. Not words, not promises, not temporary behavior shifts. If you're only seeing change for a week and then it disappears, that's not transformation. That's a cycle. And then you might be asking yourself, well, Why do I feel addicted to the relationship even when I know it feels unhealthy? Well, it's because of something called emotional conditioning, or what people often refer to as trauma bond. When love and pain are mixed together, your nervous system gets confused. You start chasing the good moments to relieve the discomfort. That doesn't mean it's love. It means your body is trying to stabilize itself. So, what's the first step if you think you're in this kind of relationship? Start by getting honest with yourself, not about who they could be, but about who they consistently are. And then ask yourself, do I feel peaceful or do I feel anxious, confused, and drained? Hopefully, your answer will guide you. If this episode resonated with you, I want you to know that you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not powerless. Healing starts with awareness, growth starts with honesty, and peace starts with choosing yourself. Please be sure to send in your questions, your experiences. I want to hear from you. And as always, cultivate your mindset, protect your peace, and cultivate your life. I want to encourage all of you, share your feedback, share your experiences. Maybe you know somebody in this kind of situation, so you want to share it with them. As always, I ask of you to, if you listened and you liked the episode, please click the thumbs up button and share your feedback. Remember, these things help the algorithm and get the podcasts out there and allow me to share my voice with the others out there that are not listening. Like I said, if it resonated with you, if you found it to be informative, please click the thumbs up button and please feel free to share your feedback. If not on your own personal journey, you could share your thoughts or opinions, or maybe someone you know that might be going through this, or that this information might prove helpful to them. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Thank you to my loyal listeners. Thank you to my new listeners. And thank you to my subscribers. I appreciate you. If you are looking to be a subscriber, it's literally as simple as looking at the link in my podcast content. You can subscribe for as little as a cup of coffee or as much as a Happy Meal. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Until next time, ciao for now.